Hey everybody, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
Me, Banshee. Welcome to your monthly modality message.
And we are celebrating happy birthday for Virgos.
Virgo season is here, but unfortunately, it's starting off with Mercury retrograde too.
Ooh.
Sorry, Virgos.
Not so nice.
Not so nice. And I believe Mercury will be retrograde till around September 15th, I think. So
hang in there.
I'll try to hang in there. Yeah.
But especially if you have Mercury in significant parts of your horoscope, of course.
All right. Well, let's get started with our cardinal signs, shall we?
Right. And cardinal signs are, of course, Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn.
And if you don't mind, I'll just talk about the positive attributes.
We know you will.
We, cardinal signs, are initiators. We get things started. We are active, quick, driven, ambitious. We have a lot of vim and vigor. And we are no slackers. Well, maybe a little bit.
You want to win.
We are enthusiastic. We have a zest for life. We are clever. And we want to win.
Oh, I know that. But you do have some negative things going on, too. Like anyone, you know, you can be too domineering and self-centered. You can forget about others as you focus on your own stuff. And sometimes you don't always finish what you start. Sounds like a Van Halen song.
That's why we need the Scorpios to come in and finish it.
I am ready.
All right. So let's see what we got going here for the cardinal signs. This is, by the way, these readings are good for the entire Virgo season. A little close to you, aren't I?
All things considered.
All right. Whoa.
Just a common occurrence with me.
Okay, everybody. The primary focus for the cardinal signs for the month ahead. Uh-oh. Well, it's a Three of Wands reversed. So our focus is, typical in Mercury retrograde style, having to reconfigure our plans. You know, during the retrograde, it's a good time to strategize, to think things out, to plan ahead, you know, to plan for when the planets right themselves, you know, when Mercury rights itself again. So this might be a time to look at what has not been working for you and really how to make it work better.
It's totally tied into Mercury retrograde, in my opinion, and I think that it's really saying that you will find that a number of things that you thought were planned well were not, or that you missed some connections or something that would have helped better with the planning.
Oh boy, so the role your interactions with others may play in the month ahead. Holy moly! And there's Mars. It's the Tower. Well, you know, talk about Mercury retrogradian. You know, there will be lessons to be learned from your interactions with others. They may not be very pleasant lessons, but they're necessary ones, you know. So you can build your relationships on more solid ground, more solid foundations. It just seems as though some relationship may be having some problems, maybe blowing up. Maybe some things are even blowing up out of proportion to what really the problem is. It is Mercury, after all.
It again strikes me as a facet of Mercury retrograde, and I think your interactions with others will provide lessons for you to learn, even though you won't necessarily like going there. But that's what you have to understand, is that there's always opportunities in a Mercury retrograde situation for you to learn something.
That's right.
This looks like it will be based on things going on with you and the people you interact with.
The good news is you will learn, you will move on in a more positive manner if you take those lessons to heart. That's the good news with the Tower upright.
So card 3 is the opportunities or challenges that you may face in the month ahead and how best you can achieve or tackle them.
Well, of course, after the Tower, we get the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So the opportunity or challenges. Here's the challenge in my feeling is that you're recognizing that the timing just isn't right to get what you want to get off the ground. You know, maybe you do have to wait for the Mercury to right itself again, to take on anything new, to fix what is wrong here, I wonder, because the wheel is not turning in the positive direction.
I wonder if it is possible that some of these opportunities are inadvertent flips of luck, and that even in maybe some little stumbles, there may still present an opportunity to do something else. It just may be unexpected, as the reverse Wheel of Fortune might indicate.
Oh boy. So, how can you use your modality superpowers to best advantage this month? Well, it's the Prince of Wands, so that means it's the Page of Wands, upright.
It's the Knight.
Oh, it's the Knight.
Yeah.
You're right, because there's a princess in this deck. Okay, so the Knight of Wands, upright. Well, what do we do best, cardinal signs? We keep things moving. We keep things active. We move quickly. So the best way to, utilize your superpowers this month is to just move through all of this, Don't get stuck. Don't get stuck in plans that may, I guess I'm going to do a little recap here as I go. Don't get stuck in, plans that have failed. Move forward, create new plans, and be ready to move forward when the planets are right. Make sure that you learn, you move through the difficulties you may be facing with your interactions with others, and take the lessons with you as you move past them, and wait till the time is right for you to reestablish things once more. Whether it's with these friendships that have run amok, or these interactions with others that are now working, whatever the case may be, I think movement is important, and drive and motivation, which are hallmarks of the fire signs, right? I mean, the cardinal signs.
And I think that this also says that some major sense of taking on a courageous stance as you move forward, really feeling confident in your ability to impress others and feeling brave enough to go there in a way.
To boldly go through the tower and survive.
All right.
And the wheel reversed and survive. Ooh, going to be a little bit tough for the Cardinals this, period. And I'm sure, as well as Mr. O, that Mercury retrograde might be having something to do with that. All right, let's move on.
No recap, or that was
that was my recap. Do you want to recap?
No, that's fine. I agree with everything, and I think less is more sometimes. I know, right?
Sometimes, especially when we have bad news, right?
All right.
Well, or not so happy news.
So now we're on to the fixed signs.
Hey, fixed signs. That's Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. What are your positives, Mr. Fixed?
Well, our positives are that we are about steadiness and stability. We are determined, resolute, self-reliant, forging ahead, calmly work on objectives. Okay, I'm not always that calm, I admit it.
When it comes to technology.
Remember those who've helped them. Well, Scorpios clearly have a good memory, but I think the other ones are probably good with that too. Persistence, concentration, powerful yet purposeful. No wasted motions.
What are the nags?
Oh,
well,
let's talk.
They can be stubborn. They sure can. They can fall into this my way or the highway thinking. There's a tendency to kind of get stuck in their ways, believing they are always right.
I am not your mother. But, your mother is usually always right.
All right, well, she is a Taurus. That's what you both have in common. You were fixed signs. Thank you.
Thanks for noticing. I'll fix it in a minute.
All right. What you got, Mr. O?
All right, our first card, which again is, of course, about the primary focus for the month, and it's the Emperor reversed. And I say boo to that, but what the focus of the month may be is that you need to figure out why you're not exactly on top of this. It could be something to do with maybe not listening to those who you count on normally for advice. The Emperor is a wise leader, but he really does depend on influences around him to help him come to that, gestaltish kind of, decision he may be making.
The primary focus for the month ahead is to, feel more in control of situations. You may be feeling like you have no, sometimes we feel for example, we're at the mercy of this Mercury retrograde. There's nothing we can do. No. There are things you can do, regain your focus, try to, make sure that you stay on top of things rather than things stay on top of you.
It's almost a perfect metaphor to say that, this card sort of represents an idea of the Emperor has no clothes. And so maybe, fixed signs will be not realizing how other people are looking at them. And they need to also think about that because the Emperor is all about really shining to everyone.
Right, setting a good example, setting to look like a benevolent leader as opposed to a autocrat. So, Mr. O, it's time to share power, perhaps, too, and make sure everybody plays their role.
Okay, so how will our interactions be influenced this month? What role will you play in those interactions with others? And of course, it's
how
the Empress,
nice.
the complete, corollary to the Emperor, perhaps.
Well, and maybe the opposite in this case, because she's got it together there.
She's not reversed.
So I think, you will be, I don't want to say shine, because it's not quite like that with the Empress, but you will be showing your caring. It's interesting here because we talk about the autocratic part, but really, I think with others, you'll be showing more of the care and the concern and being there for those who really need your help and support, or, your earthy knowledge.
As a fixed sign, your interactions will probably be about stabilizing, those around you who maybe need help at this time.
Nice.
You sort of have an ability to understand at this time what other people need, and you are all the more willing to be helpful.
So what about the opportunities or challenges you may face in the month ahead? How can you achieve or tackle them?
And it's the upright high priestess.
Wow. Boy,
nice,
Empress.
nice
well, look at them. Look at that. How many, what do we have here? 2, 3, and 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Not in order, but very highly powerful. So
and all major arcana.
Yeah. An opportunity maybe will present itself to really go in a deep dive, and that you will be able to understand things maybe at a very intuitive level and really see what their real-time world applications could be.
Well, this is an opportunity for sure, and it's really a nice card for Mercury retrograde. You can use this period, there's an opportunity now for you to tap in, go within, and tap into your higher wisdom, and that, of course, will help support others.
Okay, so then what about that superpower of the fixed signs?
How best can you utilize that?
Use it best? And voila, another major arcana.
Wow.
It's the Hermit. It's upright.
There's a lot to do here with going within, or, just being kind of a supportive character, except for the Emperor reversed here, but we'll get back to that. The Hermit is all about accessing that knowledge within, or seeking wisdom from, some higher mentor, your guides, your angels, your angelic presences, your ancestors. I like this, and I feel here, your stability, you really are self-reliant, and so the thing is, that you have the knowledge, the wisdom, it's not out there somewhere, it's here. you know, and that's what you're going to tap into this month.
There's always an implication that the Hermit is in service to show this knowledge or to reveal wisdom to those who seek it or otherwise may need it. And so your superpower may be calling you to, you know, kind of shine forth a little bit of what you can share and make others, you know, realize some better things too.
It may be to guide others towards the light. Yes, I see that. But to me, when the Hermit is upright, I sense it's a personal journey. When it's reversed, I sort of get more the feeling of sharing that knowledge outward. But this is a time, you know, especially here, I would suggest with the Hermit and the High Priestess in this reading to go within.
Yeah, it's a really clear sign. All the cards really kind of line up in a way.
Yeah. And what you are projecting outward right now, I feel, is a lot of empathy and support for others who may need that right now.
Yes, and of course, during Mercury retrograde, who doesn't need a little extra support?
So in a sense, that's my recap for this one, except I want to look back at that Emperor reversed, which is your focus. So really, maybe what this whole thing is saying is, in order to regain a sense of control over things and not let things overwhelm you, you have to tap into your empathy, and you have to support others, you know? Others may need you more than you realize. And I feel here that, you know, you may sense that. You may come to realize that by tapping within, you know, getting these messages from your higher wisdom, and, you know, ultimately you will get to the point of sharing it with others. But I think right now you are seeking that light within.
That's a brilliant summation. Thank you.
Oh, no. Just kidding.
So that's what we had for the fixed signs.
For the fixed signs, let's move on to our friends, the Mutables.
The Mutables.
And that is Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. So Virgos, take note.
So key positives for the Mutables are that they go with the flow, they're adaptable and flexible, they're versatile, they're highly resourceful. They can change when necessary, and they're quite easy to change. Mercurio is the word that comes to mind at that point. Can change, assume various personas, so they're like chameleons. I'm sorry, the light's not good for my eyes here. Well liked by others, enjoy learning, playing fair, diplomacy, sharp. This is too many qualities.
Sympathetic, can see below the surface, selfless, quick to help others. And, you know, there is a lot there. Mutables are so flexible that, you know, there's a lot to be said for them. They're easygoing. But the problem with that is sometimes they try too hard to please everybody. They can be a bit wishy-washy. They can be inconsistent and just downright duplicitous. They can stretch themselves to the breaking point if they're not careful.
So we're back to card one, the primary focus for Mutables. And it's the Seven of Cups. Whoops. Upright. Seven of Cups, primary focus. Well, I think we're going to be spending some time in contemplation, or really trying to imagine what are our best or most positive goals that we can work towards, things like that. What are the dreams that inspire us, and how will we really find the most practical solution or way to present in this time?
Well, it's kind of interesting to me. It's like, what hat are you Mutables going to wear during this Virgo season, you know? It's time to maybe just imagine what it is and really use some of this period to think of what's next on your bucket list, you know? Or what you want to put on there. There's all kinds of possibilities, but eventually, you know, you have to narrow that down. But maybe for now, it's just time to dream those possibilities.
And I think that, you know, Mercury presents in a couple of these mutable signs quite handily, so it may be that the retrograde effects will be mitigated by the power of that within, you know, Pisces and Virgo. All right, second card.
Second card is the role your interactions with others may play in the month ahead.
Look at you, Ace of Wands.
Nice, mutables.
I think that the Ace of Wands says, you know, you're going to be helping people start off things, or you're going to be initiating things that other people will gladly want to interact with, or that you're approaching people with your plans and finding a true resonance. And a lot of this is going to be about planning things that maybe are resourceful in terms of enterprise or networking or business in general.
Forget those cardinal signs. You seem to be the initiators. You know, this Virgo season mutables, it seems as though you're ready to get things off the ground, get things started, move people in a particular direction. You know, your interactions with others will be kind of like you're a mover and a shaker.
Indeed.
All right, so what are the challenges or opportunities you face, and how best can you tackle or achieve them? I like it. It's strength. You know,
Strength.
And just because you're going to be a mover and shaker mutable signs does not necessarily mean you have to push people around or, you know, nudge them strongly. You can use subtle methods to get this, you know, get things started. You don't have to shout. You don't have to, like, you know, shepherd the herd per se. You just have to kind of subtly throw some ideas out there, and people will latch on.
I think your opportunities lie in the realm of really being able to model some behavior in terms of how we solve problems, how we move forward on other things. That sometimes the strongest force of physicality is not necessarily what can move a mountain. Sometimes understanding a question or a situation, being able to relate to it with true compassion can also work some miracles, move some mountains.
Very good. So, what's next, Mr. O?
The superpower, how it can help you to your best advantage.
Wow, you got all nice cards here. Now you've got the Queen of Swords, which to me is very interesting. So, you know what? How best you can use your superpower is, you know, it's one thing to be adaptable and be flexible, and it's perfect with the Queen of Swords. Because the Queen of Swords can be somebody who can be rather harsh and can be rather, you know, she has to make the hard decisions. She has to make tough choices. But you can use your superpowers of flexibility, adaptability, and, you know, wanting to get along with others to discern, you know, to look at both sides of an issue, to be objective, and to make really good, sound decisions that others will be able to live with.
That's totally true. I feel that it's kind of interesting merging some of the qualities of the mutables with the idea of maybe, you know, untainted focus on getting to the right answer. There's no sense of a decision that is leaning one way or the other. It's really about using clear discernment to decide something. And I think it's just in this case backed up by the fact that mutables have a lot of those qualities too. So any judgments that you have to make, your superpower seems to be charged to make them fairly and in a way that is appreciable.
Wow, so I like this reading. Do you want to do a recap on this one, Mr. O?
All right, so let's go. So our first card, the focus is, of course, that Seven of Cups. And I think the focus is saying we're going to be looking for the best possible answers or dreams or situations to hitch our star to.
Looking at all the possibilities you're surrounded with, mutables, you know, you can just, you know, start really discerning what's right for you to tackle next. But you don't have to do it right now. Just make that decision.
And your interaction with others will really be opening up maybe some really incredible opportunities for networking or working together on projects that are really enterprising and resourceful, maybe have some business aspects.
You truly are going to be a mover and shaker this month. You can get the party started, so to speak, you know, and initiate something and get people interested.
Your opportunities really will allow you to apply better understanding to any of these situations, to realize that there's always another way than just trying to do something from a physical point.
You know, you can be that, you know, that person in the background, Mutables, who's just nudging people subtly in the direction that you want them to go. No need to push, no need to be aggressive. Just take it nice and easy and you'd be surprised. What is that saying? You can catch something with honey?
Flies with honey more than vinegar.
Exactly.
I think it's about emotional intelligence serving the cause.
And finally, ultimately, the superpower, Mr. O?
Well, your superpower really is about discernment and really is about making clear, proper judgments, whether it's something really big or whether it's just in your normal everyday life. Maybe people will even realize that you just have the pulse on being reasonable and fair, not necessarily prejudiced in one way or the other. Fairness.
Yes. Making objective decisions, fair and balanced ones in the right way. And, you know, and I think it may all tie back to that Seven of Cups in a way, or that Ace of Wands. Yeah, you know, where, you know, you're trying to get people and you're making appropriate decisions that are right for everybody because you want to get along. You're good people, Mutables.
So that's pretty much it for the month.
Yes, I hope everybody has a happy, we hope everybody has a happy Virgo season, and that the Virgos, happy birthday once again to all our Virgo friends out there.
So join us in about a month for Libra season.
Libra season is coming.
Right.
Woohoo! So take care, everybody. Have a great Virgo season, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.